If you're a building owner looking to put solar on your roof might not be immediately solar ready. So what we've done today is we've brought in Josh from Moser Roofing. Josh, you're going to tell us from a roofer's perspective, what do we have to do to get this building ready to put solar on it?
Charlie, I'm excited. We're looking at two different projects. One that is not ready for solar and what needs to be done to get it ready. And then the second one, a roof that was ready and solar on. And when you're done with this video as an owner or facility manager, you'll know what you need to do to be solar ready.
We've jumped up on our first roof for the day. This is Engle Printing, long-standing business, old building. It's been here a long time. They want to get the building retrofitted for the solar project, get the project started on the right foot, basically. Now that they've committed to the solar project and my team has started the design, how would you start from a roofing perspective to get this project started out on the right foot?
At Moser Roofing Solutions, we have an acronym called GRITS, a policy or a process to leave no stone unturned in that evaluation process. So the G in GRITS, it's starting at the ground level. The survey has to pick up anything related to the exterior of the building that indicates breakdown of roofing system or components of the roofs, drainage, gutters, edge metal, etc. The R is more of how we approach roofing and how you approach solar: respect, great collaboration, understanding the goals of the customer, and building the relationship that supports that. I of GRITS is moving interior, looking at below the roof deck. Is there any signs of rust? Ceiling tile falling in, anything that can indicate roof issue that we need to address. And it gives us a little bit of foresight before we get to the top. T stands for top side. That's where we get onto the roof. We're taking a core cut, which is a cylinder cut, to evaluate the composition of the existing roof systems, wet, dry, how many layers. We're looking for the general maintenance of the roof up to this point, indications of age, which we're also referencing warranty documents, specification documents relating back to the material. The two S's, we're looking at site logistics. How are we going to plan out a roof replacement, a roof repair? We're also looking for safety objectives. We want to make sure there's no strike hazards for our team. There's no weak deck areas. There's no fall through areas. So we're doing a full analysis of the site plan to ensure a safe repair, safe replacement, safe solar install. We want to evaluate anything that we can see that indicates wear and tear. Here's a perfect example of failure of the patching. It justifies the general acceptance. This is around 25 plus years old. Something else we're looking for is compressibility of older systems. Can it support the weight, the overburden of a solar system? So this is a perfect candidate for a new roof being prepped properly to receive long-term performance of a solar system. Charlie, another key factor of the top side of a roof evaluation for solar is to observe drainage from one point to an exit point. And this here is an internal drain. And when you think about layout, we want to avoid putting any type of solar componentry in these pathways so we don't impede the flow of water. So as we wrap up this roof, Charlie, this is a great example of the power of collaboration. And we're achieving the old adage of proper preparation is the greatest predictor of long-term performance.
We want to make sure that we plan everything out on the front end. We're trying to ensure that we come in with one effort to get the project done smoothly and cleanly the whole way through. In fact, let's go look at another building now where we did do a solar project and a roof project all at the same time, and we planned the processes out so that it was a very smooth install.
Second roof, let's do it.
Now we're going to go look at an existing solar project. So we're in Mount Joy. This is the Messick's facility. This building is about 5 years old, and they had built the building with solar in mind. So then we came back and put solar on about 2 years ago. It's about a 1 megawatt solar project. Let's go up and see it. So now we're up on the roof. This is what a megawatt of solar on a flat roof looks like. As a roofer, what do you see and what do you think about this installation?
The roof looks clean. The layout is systematic. You got great access to all the utilities, HVACs. Drainage has free access to flow directly and not impeded by the layout. I think this is a great system and how it's presented.
The building was built with solar in mind. So you can see how a lot of the utilities are put around the outside edges of the roof, and that left this big open space for us to install all of our solar collectors. There's no penetrations on this. This is a floating ballast system. There's only 4 penetrations on this roof, all grouped in one spot, and that's where the electric pipes go across the roof and then down into the utility room. So that's the only penetration we did on the whole roof. Everything else floats on top. One thing that you can see up here is we've obviously added a bunch of weight to the roof. We added our solar collectors, some ballast blocks, some electrical equipment. When we went to develop this project, we pulled a building permit. And as part of that building permit, we did a structural analysis of the building. What we wanted to do was analyze the framing of the building and make sure that the building would be strong enough to hold the weight of the system we were going to install. That way the building wouldn't collapse during the next big snowstorm or something like that. So you would do the same thing for any trade, like if you were adding an HVAC unit to the building, or if you were doing something with the roof, like you would know.
If we look at the roof here, you can tell there was great collaboration in design of the system to handle the overburden. Just like you're talking about the weight loads from a perspective of structural load, we're looking at weight loads for the compaction of roof system when you apply weight above it, the overburden.
Right.
And knowing that you had that collaboration speaks clearly to the design element that it supports the solar system as is on this roof.
What are your thoughts on how a solar contractor should do a clean install to protect the building's roof and maintain that warranty?
What excites me about looking at this project with you is just understanding the collaboration that existed between Paradise, the solar installing company, and the roofing company manufacturer of the system, and looking at that warranty. Reviewed the warranty first, understood what the manufacturer required as far as an assembly for the solar on top of the roof surface. The solar system becomes an asset to the roof by the way it's been designed, and that's key. Solar working with the roofer, the roofing manufacturer, and the warranty documents all collaborating for an outcome that extends the overall life of everything on the roof, the solar and the roof system.
We have a 10-year warranty on our project, so we have a vested interest in keeping our system running properly, but also not having leaks on the roof. So it's very important that we minimize penetrations, don't poke a bunch of holes in the roof. For example, we use slip sheets. We put sheets of roofing underneath all of our components so that our components aren't wearing directly on the roof membrane. When you install a solar asset on a building roof, will doing that compromise or void the roof warranty in any way?
Not necessarily, because there was great collaboration on the front end with the planning, checking all the standards of the warranty and manufacturer spec were met. This was installed professionally by a professional solar company. They can expect great long-term performance from this system moving forward.
Another question that people ask me is, hey, now that I've put solar on top of my roof, is that going to protect my roof and make it last longer?
Great question. In theory, yes. If you look how the solar is placed over top of the roof, it's adding a layer of protection above the roof surface. So you're not having the same impact on the heat on that area and UV damage. Charlie, thinking in terms of life expectancy, what if a roof is 15 years old and I want to install a 30-year solar system?
What I counsel people is look at it as a dollars investment. Is it going to cost me more money to get that roof up front or more money to remove a solar project halfway through the life in 15 years and then replace it after I've redone the roof? The building owner has to decide what is the best workflow and investment for me personally in terms of getting the value out of my roof and my project. Josh, as a roofer thinking about solar, are there any types of roofs or membranes that you would recommend that might work better for solar?
Each single ply system has its unique benefits and features, but generally a lighter roof, single ply, a white, for example, you get a cooler roof and a higher reflective roof surface.
With electricity, heat is waste, so definitely keeping the temperature down helps both of us. And then, as you were saying, a white roof with that higher reflectivity, the more ions you have bouncing around, the more electricity your panels are going to produce. Now that we've looked at all of this, if someone is looking at doing a solar project and a roofing project, who do they call first? Should they call the solar installer or should they call the roofer first?
I'm going to say yes and yes. Get both involved early on for the collaboration. But either way you start, bringing them together then at the table, starting the project through the planning process will ensure decades of long-term performance.
All right, Josh from Moser Roofing, thanks for playing along. You can look at our co-branded roof and solar guide. There's going to be a link in the description of this video. Check out our solar loop videos. Josh, you're in the latest episode with more detail on this topic. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button.